Persona 5 is the best experience I've had with a JRPG. Nowadays, most people consider it to be baby's first JRPG, but I still love it to death. I love the characters, the story, even the slice of life mechanic I look forward to more than the palaces themselves. Who knew a game that forces you to master time management could be so engaging? Wish I could translate those skills to real life. Anyway, I thought it'd be cool to do another Devil Fruit video for this franchise this time. And you know what? Why not go the extra mile and include striker characters as well? Yeah, I'm going balls deep into spoilers on this one. Like last vid, my rule is to stick to characters that we know can fight, since it'll be easier to pick fruits this way. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to exclude the Velvet Room gang for this one since, well, 1, we never see Igor fight, 2, they're OP as shit, and 3, Jose is a freaking anomaly.
I'm going to start venting now. Don't expect me to hold back. Now!
Also, no demiurges. That includes you too, Maruki. Also, I feel like this goes without saying, but spoilers for One Piece. I'm caught up with the manga now. I told y'all, I'm going balls deep.
Power of the wild card.
Okay, so Joker's whole shtick is that he's a wild card, and wild cards in Persona are allowed to carry more than one persona. Thankfully, Joker's main persona is Arsene, and Arsene's typing is Curse, which is basically the dark type of these games. So I'm giving him the dark fruit. Come on, Gentleman Thief, dark powers, absorbing and utilizing other personas a la Devil Fruits? This fruit was made for Joker. While it's still not confirmed that Blackbeard can steal and utilize a third Devil Fruit, it's very heavily implied based on recent events. And while we're on the subject...
That is the taste of defeat!
Since Akechi is also a wild card, it stands to reason he should get this fruit too. Akechi pretty much serves as a dark reflection of Joker, so it's only fair.
Game over!
Morgana's a tough one. There's still no confirmed win-win fruit yet. Luckily, his ability to transform into a car screams Zoan type. But he transforms into a car, and as insane as One Piece is, surprisingly nothing that crazy has happened yet. So I guess I'll just settle for giving him the human fruit. I mean, Morgana constantly boasts about being a human early in the game, proceeds to become human during the 3rd semester, has a crush on An, who is a human being, and still hates being called a cat after regaining his memories. Plus, he turns into an anthropomorphic cat whenever he's in the metaverse, so why not?
And don't come back!
Okay, we got past the weird ones. Ryuji gets the Rumble fruit for obvious reasons. But the Tremor fruit might also be a good pick. I've heard players often have Ryuji focus on physical attacks, since he's one of the strongest physical attackers in your party. So I don't think it would be a too out there choice for him.
A beautiful rose has thorns!
An's pretty much the sexy femme fatale of the group, and is also the only person I personally think makes the most sense to romance in-game. She obviously gets the Flame fruit due to her fire magic, but I also think a great devil fruit for her would be the Love fruit. I mean, her confidant is called the Lovers after all. Plus, her looks make her stand out and attract unwanted attention, especially from guys like Kamoshida. Having a devil fruit that turns people like him into stone can come in pretty handy.
The finale.
The number of devil fruits that made sense for Yusuke were very surprising for me. The Ice fruit is the most obvious choice. But would you believe me if I said that was probably the 3rd best option for him? The dude wields a sword, but with the dice-sized fruit he can just as easily become a literal sword man. However, what Yusuke strives to be above all else is a brilliant artist, which is why the art fruit is the 2nd best option for him. Now, the art fruit is pretty stupidly powerful. Being able to trap anything into abstract art is pretty terrifying. But I think the brush fruit is the best possible fit for Yusuke. What more can an artist ask for than to have their own artistic creations come to life and help them in battle? Yusuke already does something similar to this in-game by duplicating skill cards that you can find in dungeons. Not only that, the entire world can be his canvas, since the ability grants the user infinite ink. This is without a doubt the most fitting devil fruit for Yusuke.
Fist of justice!
Makoto was a little tricky since she uses nuclear magic. I think the barrier fruit would be a good fit for her, considering she learns more defense-based stat buffs. A more offensive option would be the bomb fruit, which basically turns you into a walking minefield. Imagine getting punched by her only to have it be immediately followed up by an explosion. Her temper quite literally exploded when she first awakened her persona, and most of the Phantom Thieves try their best not to piss her off, so...
And done!
Alright, so Makoto's smart, but Futaba probably takes the title of smartest member of the Phantom Thieves. Even though she's technically not a fighter, she's crucial when it comes to figuring out enemy weaknesses and providing support whenever needed. The recently revealed Brain fruit kinda fits her, however it doesn't exactly make you smart. More so just allows you to infinitely store and retain information you've learned, at the expense of humongous brain growth. The Heal fruit also works since Futaba's timing when it comes to healing you in a pinch is pretty godlike.
Wasn't that graceful?
Even though I think An makes the most sense to romance in-game, I'd marry Haru in a heartbeat. What can I say, I like a nice girl with a bit of a dark side. Since there's no Psychic Devil fruit, yet, Haru gets the Arm fruit because...
Jeez!
Yeah.
You shouldn't annoy a girl with an axe! Too late to be sorry.
Sumire and Sophia. I put these two in the same category since they basically fill the same role in both their respective games. New Phantom Thief member, Identity Crisis, both go rogue for a bit upon revelation of said Identity Crisis, both awaken to their true persona after making peace with said crisis, both personas specialize in blessed magic, which is basically the light type of these games, both never to be seen again. Both get the Glint fruit.
A job well done.
Last but certainly not least of the Phantom Thieves is Enkichi, who is a tough one. His persona Valjean mainly uses almighty magic, but that's like the normal type of these games. It's not really super effective on anything, but little can resist it. Since he is a cop, I think the Bind fruit would work well for him, since it's used by Hina, who works for the Marines in One Piece. Valjean also carries chains on his arms that pretty much represent his imprisonment, so based off of that, I thought the chain fruit would work well for him too. I kinda wanted to stay away from non-canon fruits, but I'll make a couple of exceptions in this video. Chains and bars kinda go hand in hand when it comes to restricting people after all. Alright, it's boss time! Although Kamoshida transforms into a demon during his boss fight, in his core he is a humongous pervert. So what better fruit to give him than the Clear fruit, which lets you turn invisible. Sanji expressed how much he wanted this fruit since it would allow him to spy in women's bathrooms undetected, and its previous user Absalon initially used this fruit to perv on Nami as well. So it wouldn't be surprising if Kamoshida would do the same things if he had it. And this segment's off to a great start. Moving on to Madarame, who I think is more deserving of the art fruit. Sure, the dude plagiarized and pretty much stole art from his students, Yusuke included, but he was an artist at some point before he decided to become a huge prick. Alright, going into non-canon territory again, but I seriously can't think of a more fitting devil fruit for Kanashiro than the Gold fruit from Film Gold. Gold itself is incredibly valuable in terms of currency, and Kanashiro loves money, so why not give him the power to control money itself? Just as long as he's touched it beforehand. Honestly, this is a pretty stupidly powerful fruit with the right conditions. The gold being controlled can be formed into pretty much whatever you want, and since Kanashiro's palace is a freaking bank, you shouldn't have much trouble utilizing it to its fullest. Okay, so I might be cheating with Okumura, since he technically doesn't fight you. However, he does sick his robot employees on you, which kinda falls in line with the Pump Pump Fruit's power. Despite overworking his staff, these guys are willing to go as far as self-destruct for him. Even though the fruit's power banks on the motivation of the target, not wanting to be fired from your job is a pretty huge motivator. Sai gets the Luck Luck fruit, which is also from film Gold. Huh. Weird how the two non-canon fruits I chose are not only from the same movie, but were also given to the two people that are tied to Makoto. Anyway, I chose this fruit for Sai because she straight up cheats in her palace and the first phase of her boss fight. The fruit can steal a target's luck and add it to the users, simply by touching them. The more lucky you are, the more unlucky they'll be. This pretty much means the user is invincible, since any type of harm attempted to them will certainly miss completely. The only way to work around such a stupidly broken fruit like this would be to A. Not get touched in the first place, if it can, B. Wait out the effect since it's not permanent, or C. Make the user spend all their luck on something overly miraculous. Good luck with that. Shido gets the Tremor fruit. I mean, it's a powerful fruit nonetheless, it's just weird how that's the only fruit I can think to give him. I don't know, you think a boss with 5 freaking phases and the dude that Joker has the most beef with would get more suggestions. Oh well. Alright, you guys have got to give me a freebie on this one. I mean, look at Alice right now. How is it that a manga with over 1,000 chapters, 18 goddamn movies, and 2 whole arcs where we travel with a rabbit girl with huge tits, and there's still no rabbit fruit? There's a rabbit smile for crying out loud. Ongo gets the fish fruit model dragon because, I mean, come on, look at him. He breathes fire, he's weak to ice. You can't get more dragon than that. Although that is the most JoJo looking dragon I've ever seen. It would be so easy to give Mariko the ice fruit, but I'm gonna give her the snow fruit. Her jail is a winter wonderland, and the monster she turns into looks like a giant snowman, if you squint hard enough. Since she kept stuffing her face and can potentially eat you during her boss fight, she could also get the Munch Munch fruit, which lets the user pretty much devour anything. And I mean anything. On top of that, they can transform their body parts into whatever was devoured, or mix it with something else to create something entirely new. Akane is not getting a fruit. Sorry, sweetie, making copies of the Phantom Thieves isn't enough to get you on here. Go away. Finally, we have Akira. His Mighty Morphin Power Ranger looking ass did not make it easy to pick a devil fruit for him. I lean more towards the Glint fruit since he's immune to bless magic and he carries a freaking lightsaber. But I also realized something when I revisited his backstory. A common theme with striker villains is that they tend to turn out the way they are due to being wronged by someone or a group of people in particular. While this doesn't justify their actions, it does provide a bit of perspective for them. Akira is no exception to this, as he was the victim to an abusive father. Feeling like there was no choice, he proceeded to kill his own father, and vowed to become the hero he felt the world deserved, developing this misguided sense of justice in the process. This so-called justice motivating him into using the app Emma to brainwash humanity into his utopia. So I thought it'd be cool if I gave him the Mag fruit since his motivation sounds eerily similar to Akainu's. Well, you know, minus the whole brainwash part and more pirates are all evil part. Both of these guys are pretty extreme when it comes to how far they'll go to acquire their justices. Plus Akira's mech in the first phase of the fight is strong against fire and ice magic, and oh would you look at that, I kinda managed to beat both users of these fruits. Funny how that works. Well, that pretty much does it for this video. If you have any other suggestions for who deserves a devil fruit that I didn't mention, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'd also appreciate it if you left a like and maybe subscribe. This video took a lot longer to make than it needed to. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.